If you've seen products like Viggle or Mimo, where you see that you can replace yourself with any video, you haven't seen anything yet. With Animate Anyone 2, a high fidelity character image animation with environment affordance is changing the game, and this is by Alibaba. Check it out. As you see in these clips, you see that these movements are very highly dynamic, where there are a lot of high action, quick movements, and it's moving and doing these movements and replacing the characters really well. As you see this person on a skateboard, you see that they inputted this image of this guy in all black, and this person in the original video is doing all kind of tricks on this longboard, and he's doing a pretty good job of it. But the guy is, well, fake. This is an input image, this is a replacement, but even with this fast movement, you see that this person was able to hang on and really do a lot of movement and motions. Even with this person who was pedaling on the bike, where you see in the original image, this person is kind of riding the bike, swaying back and forth where a car comes up. He replaces that person on the bike with this person in orange, and it was able to do it really well. It doesn't just stop there. They also do parkour, where you see this guy is doing parkour, and he steps and around these buildings, and it's pretty fast action, even fast camera movements, but the guy is able to be replaced. And also they did it with the Joker, where this person is doing some type of kung fu fight and they're spinning the pole around. This is some really good choreographed kung fu right here, but they replaced it with the Joker. And the Joker is like, well, he's doing it pretty well. I wouldn't really know too much that this is fake. You could still tell it's a little inconsistency, especially with the karate movements, but with the parkour and the bike scene, it's a little bit harder to tell, just because, well, it's harder to see the distortions. But it doesn't stop there. They also have like different environmental interactions where they hold up like a pillow, also where they're playing like a guitar. And not only that, where they're like riding bikes and stuff like that, and on horses and on surfboards, and playing basketball and drumming. They're basically just showing a lot of different clips of people being able to interact with their environment, but also be replaced, but without having any issues with the environment around them. But even with dynamic motion, you see with this parkour movements that they're able to execute, even replacing the character, it looks like a soccer player, that the movements are executed pretty good. But it doesn't stop there. They have this guy who is playing basketball, and it looks pretty good. Besides the lighting being off, you can't really tell that it's like a replacement. Even when they do high action like kung fu or even breakdancing, it does still do very well when it comes to these type of things. And they have like Gojo breakdancing, and it doesn't distort when they start spinning and their legs are like twisting and turning. It still like copies their movement pretty well. These videos really capture the essence of the movement when it comes to how high action these videos are. But it doesn't just stop there. You can even replace just one person in a two-person video performance. Where I think this, I forgot what this movie is called, things like La La Land, where you see these people are dancing and they replace the male dancer with, well, the Joker. And you've seen this with Viggle, at least it went viral, where they were fighting, doing a Matrix scene. I think it was like Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg, and well, they did the same thing with this, and this is really good. You really can't tell too much that this is like the original, like serial, like the person wasn't an actor. With Animate Anyone 2, it really does a good job. I think what you can tell with the dead giveaway is definitely like difference in the lighting, but you can still do that if you have like lighting or you use some type of prompting to make sure it's comparable. But if you take a look at this, you see they do comparisons. They do one where it's like Trump dancing with his woman, on the treadmill, and they're doing pretty good. But you see, well, Viggle, and you see that Viggle has this kind of outline, this kind of outside of it that's kind of masking over the original person. Even when it comes to breakdance, you see that Gojo is way more, well, consistent, where you see the legs with the Animate Anyone 2 versus Viggle, because Viggle, it's like starts freaking spazzing out. Same thing with like the bike riding, even when the bike is not even visible, but you see what there is, the bike is actually still visible and they're still able to actually see the object they're dealing with. Even with the basketball wasn't too bad with Viggle, but it's definitely way more crisp with Animate Anyone 2. Even with the drums, when they're holding objects, it definitely disappears, but overall it's still pretty good. They also did a comparison with Mimo, where Mimo is pretty good. But it's not, I think, as crisp when it comes to making the character look realistic, as you see that when they're holding or interacting with different objects, their hands, their feet, and the object sometimes blur into it. And it doesn't do as bad as Viggle did when it comes to like the breakdancing, but you can still see that Animate Anyone 2 is so much better when it comes to these type of tasks. And like I said, this is still in the early stages of AI, so in the future, AI will really be able to just replace anyone and basically just deep fake the whole thing, which is insane if you ask me. If you want to keep up with the latest and greatest AI news, I think you should definitely like and subscribe. With that being said, your boy Dexter out.